Our friend Ben in Austin messaged me and asked if I knew any like edgelords. Like if I grew up with any.
Oh, no.
And I was like racking my brain. I was like, I bet if I sat here and thought about it for long enough, I could come up with a couple names. But I came upon this as a thesis statement, and tell me if you guys think this is true. I said that an open mic comedian with no talent and no rich parent will become an edgelord within 3 years of starting comedy.
Even with rich parents, I've seen it
Sometimes
happen.
that happens, but when I mean rich parents, I mean specifically like connected to Hollywood that can get them a job in the field they desire.
Yeah, that's a pretty important caveat. I wouldn't have even thought of that, but no.
I think
even less than 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just start.
Right.
Way. That's how a lot of people start.
Yeah, a lot of people start, but it's not even like... They don't have politics about it. It's literally like, I don't know how to make people laugh, so I'm going to say like fuck a bunch.
Yeah.
But, I consider that different from being a true like online like edgelord shithead.
Yeah.
But it's like rapid. Because that was the question is like, did I grow up with any of those people? I'm like, I don't know, but I know tons of them from LA comedy.
Everybody in Texas is like that. So many people I knew would just say fucked up shit. Because we also grew up in like the South Park era and stuff like that, where it's just okay to be cruel and curse.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's that
rude.
I feel like it's hard to even say you grew up with a fucking edgelord, because like you were saying, it's like they become it. Whereas like I don't know, I feel like did you guys do that thing where there's like a part in your lives where you just like start like compiling like a sentence of like the worst words and then you just say it a lot with your friends?
What are you talking about?
Just like all the cuss words, like fuck, cunt, and shit. You're just like saying.
No, we came
like
up with
the 7 words you can't say on television.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You can be 12 and be just as funny as late George Carlin.
Some of his shit, yeah, I agree.
Fact.
Hey, Kelly Carlin liked one of my tweets over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't even follow me. She don't know who the fuck I am.
You should DM her.
Thanks for coming out, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you for liking my Limp Bizkit tweet.
The 7 words I can say: you seem really cool and fun.
Also,
I like your dad's work.
Also, what's the deal?
people do George Carlin's bit all the time.
Hold on. Is that your George Carlin bit? Is
pretty much
famously he's the what's the deal guy?
He's just angry. What's the deal? And another thing, I saw some guy doing a fucking impression of George Carlin. For some reason, he posted it on his Instagram. And,
was it Rick Moranis on Second City TV?
No, it was just a regular guy. For some reason, thought we would fucking give a shit about him going, and another thing. But it wasn't, like, well done.
People forget, because Carlin was, like, kind of middle of the road in between his, like, hippie period in the late 60s, early 70s, and then his comeback in, like, the Reagan era. Yeah. He had this very, it's like the place for my stuff, and the difference between football and baseball, like that kind of shit.
Oh.
So much so that they made fun of him on SCTV. Rick Moranis, look it up on YouTube. Actually, well, I'll put it up on our Twitter so people can see it. Rick Moranis did a hilarious George Carlin on there, where it's basically just like how fucking middle of the road he is about how his stuff. And it's some people think that Carlin saw that and was like, and that's when he,
I was going to
come out with that parental advisory record where he's like, why is it that everybody who's against abortions is someone who you would never want to fuck anyway?
Right.
That was supposed to be his like, hey, I'm a fucking crank now.
Man, what a loser!
And it worked.
It works, dude.
What a loser you'd have to be to have Rick Moranis hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shrink your ass. Rick Moranis.
He was huge at the time though.
He was.
Maybe he was like fuck.
Oh, this is before he was big. This is
before
Rick Moranis was big.
Oh, okay.
This was SCTV. This is like where him and John Candy and all them guys came out of. Martin Short. So
the cocaine factory.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot to do this yesterday, but I feel like this is the way to intro the goddamn show. R.I.P. to a real one. Alex Trebek, man.
Oh yeah,
passed away over the weekend. It passed away in the middle of one of the largest news cyclones in history. So it was kind of thrown to the wayside.
Right.
But
it should have been front page everywhere.
Seriously, an absolute icon. I've probably watched more Jeopardy than any other TV show, I think.
That explains a lot about you.
It's like a every night thing. Most nights, especially at my parents' house, is just sitting there and me screaming, "It's the Mongols!"
It's the Mongols.
It's not the Muggles, you dummy.
Oh boy.
It was always great to just see somebody lose all their money in a betting scenario.
The funny, oh my god, the best. And Alex Trebek, legendary in terms of just being able to still be likable, but a real prick to people.
Yeah, like he was pretty passive.
He found that balance. Yeah, very bad. Just like he could just cut really fucking deep.
Well, it's because he was a stone cold killer. He was so monotone.
Yes. Yeah.
And he would just say some fucked up shit about you, and you're just like, wait, what? Hey.
Because he had that face that was so attentive. So you say something dumb, and he'd be like, no. Just like right in your face.
You are now out of money.
And then tell you the right answer.
When I first started watching the show and I was a kid, I was like, well, this guy clearly has to be like a doctor or scientist or something. He's such clearly a smart. No, he's just some guy.
He's like just a nice Canadian man with sort of a short temper. And it's very funny. It's not even a short temper. It's just a low propensity for bullshit where he's just like, I don't know.
Who is someone who will be missed?
Absolutely. By the way,
who is a friend we lost?
No one ever makes it to this part of the Jeopardy song with the fucking bitchin' guitar solo.
It's pretty funny.
This is the part that they play during the Advil commercial. They'll cut to the Advil commercial and have this part of the song playing in the background.
Man, the guy doing this lick, it's just always hearing the first part of the song, and he's like, nobody knows how good this song gets. Yeah. Nobody knows.
But yeah, I did want to play this is the class to me. Just one of the greatest moments in TV history right here.
Susan Cole is from Bowie, Maryland, and her favorite type of music is something I've never heard of, but it doesn't sound like fun.
I think it's very fun. It's called nerdcore hip-hop. It's
nerdcore hip-hop.
Yes. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love, video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners, It's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well,
Fucking great. Nice. Fucking great.
But the thing is, that's not being cruel. He knows he's being funny.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I don't think it's cruel. I think it's just very, like, she knew what she was saying.
Man. Yeah,
what is Alex supposed to say? Losers, in other words.
He's so funny, goddamn.
He's got it's funny because he's Canadian. He's almost got the Norm Macdonald delivery. He's like, losers, in other words.
Close to that. That's true.
Well, it's funny, embarrassing to admit liking that kind of music on national television.
Yeah, don't do it. That's why I hate that segment.
He had he had to like restore normalcy. Like a good host, you have to
Did
be
you
like,
just bring up MC Chris on Jeopardy? Get the fuck out of here.
No one wants to hear this.
It's so funny though, because him just saying like losers is obviously like very blunt and mean, but like saying this doesn't sound fun is so much meaner that it's just like, not only do I like it, it doesn't even sound
He prefaces
fun.
it by being like, this doesn't sound good at all.
They didn't even give her a chance.
Wow.
I like music about party.
Yeah, what the fuck does Alex like?
Yeah.
He only likes like really like fucking death grips.
He just likes
exactly.
noise.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You imagine he just sits there and listens to Bach or whatever, but
No.
it's probably Rush. He's a Canadian man of a certain age. Although he's
a fair one.
He passed at the age of 80, so maybe he slightly aged out of being a Rush guy, but I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe he's a big Bob Dylan fan.
There we go. Yeah, he's close to Canada.
He would probably only listen to like audiobook on tape. Just if he ever thought he wanted to listen to something, he was like, I'll put on a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'd listen to erotic fiction.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Jeopardy, Cooper?
I've watched it a couple times. I think I have the same reaction as most people where you're like, I'll probably be able to guess like a couple of these and it'll be fun. And then like you just can't guess any of them. Or you have like one thing. I don't know.
They'll throw one category at you and you'll be like, I nailed all these. I'm smart. And then they ask you about fucking literature and you're fucked.
Yeah. It's like the 3-card Monty. Like they'll let you in a little to think,
So they
smart.
draw you in.
Yeah.
Then daily double. How much money do you want to bet? Ooh, you just fucked yourself.
Yeah. I like it. It's like constant like tension and release though, where you're like, ooh, what does that mean? Then you find out and you're like, oh, I don't actually care.
Yeah,
and then it just happens like 90 times over the show. But then you still just tell people all the things you learn.
It's one of those things where you think you're learning stuff, and I guess you sort of are, but it's just random trivia that you could live your whole life never knowing. And
we're getting pretty smart though, watching Modern Marvels.
Yeah,
We watch a show
you
about
ever
castles.
seen Modern Marvels?
It's a History Channel show.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I think
it's a
I
killer
have.
show.
It's another
But I
show
can't
that
remember what the hell it
presents
is.
itself as informational, but it's just entertainment, ultimately.
okay.
It's got a good narrator. They'll tell you about castles. They'll tell you about chips.
Yeah, we learned about
Me and Sam were
chips.
talking about how our favorite episodes are the one about like mass-produced chips, where they're like Pringles were sued by Lay's, and you're like, oh my god.
Oh, I thought you said ships. I was like, damn, can they mass produce ships? I thought they were pretty
But if you want to see some big ass ships, check out Modern Marvels because they got episodes on that too.
Yeah, definitely some carrier ships. 1,000 pounds of food is transported in each cargo hold. 300 ships a day fall into the Los Angeles harbor.
There's an episode about motorcycles where Jay Leno's in it a lot.
He just most of it is about a motorcycle he has that has a jet engine. And he's like, it's so quiet, you wouldn't believe it. And it's just like,
Yeah, and they show him like,
please drive that into a palm tree. I'm
it's like, can we
begging you.
talk to the guy who made this fucking thing? Like,
I did want to share this last clip because this is also something I relate to deeply, and I think most Jeopardy people this is their nightmare.
Football 200.
Your choice. Do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back. It's an option play. Ryan?
Football 400.
I can tell you guys are big football fans. Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team.
Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. Do you think we should go to commercial? Ryan?
Take it on to 600.
Okay, by signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled.
a knee?
Fair catch.
Fair catch. That makes sense.
Fair catch. 2 clues left, Ryan.
800.
I don't even
These
know that much
penalties
about
are
football.
simultaneous violations by the offense and defense that cancel each other out. And they are called offsetting penalties. Let's look at the
I didn't know that.
$1,000 clue just for the
That's
fun
a
of
weird
it.
question.
Jimmy?
Just for
As
the fun of it.
Minneapolis' U.S. Bank Stadium prepares to host Super Bowl 52, I'm looking at the Ring of Honor with names from this defensive line that took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
If you guys ring in and get this one, I will die. Who are the purple people eaters? We're going to take a break. I have to talk to them.
I have to talk to these fucking losers.
That'd be funny if he was like legitimately still mean in real life, though, where he's like, I gotta talk to him. Then he goes up and he's like, are you fucking stupid? Why the
Goddamn
fuck did you
nerds.
come on this show?
It'd be great.
You're in my house.
It'd be great if there's just one guy who nailed that category and just fucked up every other question.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sure that scenario. Actually, I can tell you for sure that scenario has played out before on that show because I've definitely been watching where there's like one guy who sucks and then he just gets his category and goes on a fucking run and then just continues sucking the rest of the time.
I'll take hockey for 400.
Yeah.
Don't know the fucking CERN super colliders.
Give me shotgunning beers for 600, Alex.
I'll take titties and weed for.
Hell yeah.
I wrote the book on it. It's just
And then
me on
Alex
Jeopardy.
Alex Trebek just daps him up.
Yeah.
Goes respect.
He just very like silently walks over.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Because
He lives on in all of us.
yeah, well, the question now becomes like, who are they going to get? Who's the next? The two that I've heard floated.
Cooper Lyden.
Cooper Lyden, that would be funny. You're dry enough, I think.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you could just be like, that was terrible.
That was really bad.
You guys
That's what I'd say.
fucking suck.
No, I'd really ramp it up.
The two I've heard are LeVar Burton
Huh?
and Ken Jennings, who's the famous like Jeopardy winner.
Not him.
And there's a big there's like a big backlash in the Jeopardy community. Some people
That's insider trading.
find Ken Jennings to be too grating. You know, too
LeVar would be great.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. Did y'all see the Trump voter fraud hotline thing?
No.
So the over the weekend, I mean, I touched on it yesterday, but might as well, say it here. There was the fuck up, or possibly the we're going to do this and maybe Trump won't notice incident at the landscaping company in Philadelphia, where they originally Trump was like, we're having this meeting of all of our lawyers who are going to investigate this fraudulent election at the Four Seasons Hotel in Philly, and that's going to be happening at 11:30. And then a few minutes later, he had to tweet and clarify it's actually not the Four Seasons Hotel, it's Four Seasons Total Landscaping off the I-5 in Philly. That's actually how I found out Joe Biden won the president. I was laying in bed, scrolling through Twitter, and I was reading the landscaping thing as it was unfolding, and this is around 8:30 a.m., and I was like, oh shit, that's like now, because it's 11:30 on the East Coast. And I was like, oh, I got to go downstairs and make some coffee and watch the landscaping press conference. Go downstairs, flip on the electric kettle, turn on the TV, and the TV comes on, and it's like, breaking now, Joe Biden's declared the winner. That's how I found out. Was I went to go see the landscaping speech, and honestly, I was a little sad that they didn't play the landscaping speech. I had to go to YouTube and find it. But Rudolph Giuliani stood in the parking lot of a landscaping place that is, as we all now know, located in between a crematorium and a dildo store in Philadelphia.
It wasn't like a rally. It was like a meeting with lawyers.
It was Rudy Giuliani, who's his personal attorney, and then a bunch of other like fucking ghouls standing in a... Have you seen the video? Like the pictures of it and shit?
I saw the picture.
It's incredible. It's like the roll-up door, and then there's a bunch of Trump posters kind of taped to it, and then Rudy Giuliani standing there, and they break the news to Giuliani while he's talking. Like he's talking about whatever bullshit, and they're like, hey, they just called the election for Biden. He goes, who called it? And some reporter goes, everyone.
Everyone called it.
And he goes, everyone? And they go, all the networks have called it. And he goes, oh. And he does almost a Larry David thing. He's like, all the networks. All the networks.
Oh, that's great.
He's
a good performer.
Who was it called by? Oh my goodness. All the networks. Wow. All the networks.
And just watching it's the location is so perfect because you're thinking it's the Four Seasons and it's the parking lot of a fucking hardware store, and then somebody went on Google Maps and realized that the building next door is a sex toy shop, and then the building on the other side is a crematorium where they burn dead bodies. So it's just symbolically the whole thing was so fucking beautiful. But the
one-stop shop.
Yeah, that street has it all. I really
get fucked and die.
I mean, I really do at some point want to go to Philly and just drive by it. I just want to see it because it's where it died. Like,
that's just
you don't gotta lie. If you want to go to the dildo store, dildo store,
get to the dildo store. Excuse me, where's the dildo store next to the crematorium? But
if I'm going to any fucking sex shop, it's the one our great president goes to. Did Donald Trump come in here?
Do you have the red, white, and blue fleshlight I ordered?
I saw something on social media, and I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but the guy who owns the dildo store posted on Facebook. It was like, so great meeting Rudy Giuliani today.
Oh, that's funny.
So
he's a businessman.
Yeah.
It's good marketing. If they were in the Four Seasons, would he have been on a stage?
Well, so
just would have been a conference room.
Well, that's the thing. This is the point of contention, right? Because Trump has a hotel in Philly.
Isn't it weird they still did it? Like, what is... I'm sorry.
Well, they didn't know at the time, I think.
No, well, they didn't know that the election was but I knew it was. Like, I knew that it was going to come in Saturday, so it's like, schedule it for Friday night, you weirdos. But these are the same people who left all the old people at the airports that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the same people that book all this shit are also, and so now the theory is, because originally it was like, oh, it's funny that they got these two things mixed up.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like, if you just type in Four Seasons Philly on Google, you have to scroll so far down to get to this weird landscaping place.
You think they did it on purpose?
Well, no. The thing going around now is that they're saying it's really close to the I-5, and basically anytime Trump's people announce anything or show up anywhere, especially in a place like Philly that's heavily Democratic, people will just show up to protest and fucking yell and stuff. So they wanted somewhere that's near the interstate and was kind of low key.
Right.
And I think at that point, maybe the confusion kicked in of they thought it was like maybe a different hotel or something. Something happened at that level, but they never mistook it for the main Four Seasons because Trump has a hotel in Philly, but it's in the middle of Philly, and everyone would have known about it if they did it there.
Right.
But all of that is to say that the big thing that was announced during the landscaping press conference is that they have opened up a Trump voter fraud hotline. Okay. So if you are a concerned citizen and while you were voting last Tuesday, you experienced some sort of fraud or, something happened, you can call 1-800-895-4152 and you can report it. You can also go to the website where they allow you to upload images. It's and again, I think we've said on the show, it's not illegal to send people pictures of animals having sex. So a Trump campaign hotline set up in an attempt to uncover evidence of voter fraud in the United States election has become a playground for Twitter and TikTok trolls.
Of course.
U.S. President Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, on Friday tweeted a phone number that Americans could call to share their firsthand experiences with irregularities. So I wanted to play this. This is the creator of the cartoon Gravity Falls, Alex Hirsch. Okay. He put this one up.
This is a hotline to report incidents of voter fraud.
Okay, yeah, I saw what I believe is a voter fraud situation.
Okay, please describe it for me.
So I saw a man. He walked into this building, and he was wearing black. He had a black hat, black mask, a striped shirt, and a red tie. And I believe there were hamburgers in his bag. And he was saying "rubble, rubble" as he was exiting the building, like a burglar. I think he's probably Antifa. Can I speak to Rudy Giuliani?
So they've been getting hundreds of thousands of those for the past few days.
It's weird how it's set up. They don't even ask like, where was it at?
Yeah, they just said, just tell them. Well, maybe because if they go through all that, they know it's going to be bullshit. I'm just thinking of all the guys that are like not creative but still hate them, that are just calling and just being like, fuck you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, yeah, for days on end.
I have so
fucking like.
I have so far tried to call them about 7 or 8 times, and I either get this line is like too overwhelmed, like there's too many people calling, and then the one time I got through to anything else, it was they were just running a Donald Trump speech like as like holding music.
Yeah.
So instead of like playing the national anthem or something that makes sense, it was just this tinny ass Donald Trump speech from like 2016 or something.
We're doing big things.
Literally. And it's, it's coming over a phone receiver, and that was, they were like, and then that just played for a while, and then they just hung up. It just never went to anything.
That would be funny if
it's
they
like when you call your insurance company. Am I right, folks?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. That'd be funny if they just left you on hold with a guy that just does a Trump impression. You just get to talk to him for an hour.
Pranksters' creativity was not bound by fast food chain restaurant characters. People also took the liberty of filling in the online description section with pages of gibberish, as the programmers who made the page did not install a character limit.
Oh.
So you could literally go to the I Have a Problem website and copy and paste the entirety of Moby Dick into the little box and send it in. Just
multiple times, even
multiple times. There's no character limit because they hire the best people. They got the best people.
I did double Moby Dicks to Trump.
What if you saw
suck on my dicks?
What if you saw voter fraud, but it was like you could only write a tweet about it? They need people to write essays about the voter fraud they saw,
and there are people definitely doing like.
Oh, God, there's so many hot brains out there. Just like, I've seen them.
It's just about seeing a person that isn't white.
It's just Nextdoor. It's the Nextdoor app, but for elections. There was a Spanish man.
I woke up at 8 a.m. smelling freedom. By the end of the day, all it was burnt ballots.
And tacos.
There's tacos in my town.
Hungry.
I'm about to ring your Taco Bell, muchacho. Get the fuck out of this polling station. My name is Ryan.
Styles. Ryan Styles, the improviser
Ryan
from
Styles
Washington.
is a racist.
He's not. He's very liberal. I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I don't use Twitter anymore. But follow him on Twitter if you want a bunch of boring tweets that are occasionally funny.
I've always been more of a Colin Mockery man myself.
I mean, he's funnier, but Ryan's cooler. I feel like Ryan you'd want to hang out with more at a party. Colin would be entertaining at a party, but he'd be doing too many bits, and at some point he'd be like, "Come on, dude, just let's talk.
Chill out with it."
He'd be like, "Give me one word," and you're like, "Come on, Colin, let's not do this again."
You'd say, "I'll give you 2. Boy, bye."
God damn it!
That's what I'd say to Colin Mockery. I got 2 words for him. I'll make a mockery.
Man, I wonder if there's anybody listening to this podcast other than us who know who Colin Mockery is and also knows what boy bye is.
Well,
I don't even know if Rivers does.
We find that intersection.
It's a way to pop off on the internet.
It's just a phrase. Just a way to. That's a good description. It's just a way to pop off.
Yeah.
How else are you going to describe? I mean, you could say, I don't know. I think it's Lizzo's thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's her thing though. She probably
people
just,
give her credit. That's what the podcast is about now. What Lizzo doesn't get enough credit for.
All the people disrespecting Lizzo. You know what I got to say to you.
Go flute yourself.
But boy, bye.
Boy,
but
bye.
yes,
And
essentially
yourself.
Close to go flute yourself. God, she does play the flute. That's funny.
You gotta love a good gimmick.
Speaking of girl bosses, Joe fucking Jorgensen. She was the Libertarian candidate this year, and so now like right-wing idiots are doing the most liberal thing ever, which is they're getting mad about her spoiling the vote for Donald Trump in a bunch of states. Because in states like Georgia, like Donald Trump's margin of loss, Joe Jorgensen way outweighs that. So now right-wing people have their own Jill Stein, basically.
Oh, cool.
And it's fucking hilarious because all of that is founded on this assumption that that was a vote that you were going to get.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's definitely like funny when Democrats were mad about it in 2016 of being like, well, can Jill Stein? I'm like, the weird hippies that voted for Jill Stein are not trying to vote for Hillary Clinton. They're just not. That's not your vote. If your candidate sucks so bad that you can't get these fucking frou-frou idiots to vote for Hillary, then they just weren't going to do it. So, and now it's funny to watch it happening, you know, on the right.
It just must be an interesting life to be like so removed and untrusting, but then still vote. It's like, why even vote?
Yeah.
Why even cast the vote?
They're
for Jill
nerds,
Stein?
dude. They're nerds.
I mean, I like 3 parties. It's a good idea. But
yeah,
it's just
I like 7.
Let's
get
realistically, I'm going with Rivers.
Let's do it like Italy and just have a bunch of crazy shit and nobody's got a real majority.
And we already got a bunch of crazy shit. We already got half of that equation.
Yeah, it already
down.
sucks, dude. What could go wrong? Yeah.
I mean, we could at least have 4 or 5 of like moderate, right, left, far right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
far left.
Britain has 3 and it doesn't work out so good. So let's go 4 at least. But
the third party is interesting. It is like people who are just like, I'm going to do the opposite of what you think is cool.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like it's like more than just not voting. We're not voting like, fuck you guys, but then voting for a third party is like, I'm still part of it, so you can't get mad at me because I did vote, but also fuck you guys. And it's like, you just want to be on everyone's side, and it just ends up making everyone hate you.
It is weird.
You're not smart.
To be like, I don't like either candidate, but I like voting for some reason.
Well, I think if you're...
But sometimes
you're just...
that produces 2 candidates.
I think a lot of times they're just filling out a ballot with a bunch of other shit on it, and then the president is at the end, and they're just like, fuck these 2 guys.
That's exactly, that's what I think too.
It's a last minute decision.
Yeah, well, because
I got my mail-in ballot, and the president's at the end.
Yeah, it is. It's the last thing.
Could have wrote in Carter Glasscock, wanted to, but voted Biden.
Basically, a bunch of people on 4chan are extremely mad at this lady. And
man,
because that's
the silent majority.
That's where Trump
she's never gonna get the 4chan vote now. God,
it's so goddamn funny. I mean, you know, as to what you were talking about a second ago, Sam, there's 2 kinds of people who vote third party. It's what you were talking about, where you sit there and it's like, okay, fuck Prop 22, fuck this congressperson, I'm voting for this, going down the line, and then you get to the president and you're like, these people suck ass, fuck them, and you just vote for whatever you want. That's the one kind of person. That person I respect. I may or may not be one of those people. But then there's the second kind, which is where you don't vote for anything else. You're just like libertarian, and you just vote for Joe Jorgensen. That person sucks.
It is funny to be like so, like have such party loyalty, but just libertarian of like, I can never not vote libertarian. It's just like just being a fan of a shitty football team, except they can't even ever ever even think of drafting someone good enough.
Right, yeah. It's like,
well, they can get a good draft, but it doesn't even matter.
But yeah, they get injured the first play of the season.
Yeah, well,
it's get shot in the stomach.
Except libertarians are all rich and white, so it's like being a really big fan of like Dartmouth football.
Are they mostly rich libertarians?
Yeah, that's exactly.
They're people who hate taxes.
Yeah,
so
well, it's people who hate taxes.
Money.
It's also, I mean, at least in where I'm from, because in Auburn, we've got the university, but then there's also a libertarian think tank in my hometown called the Ludwig von Mises Institute of Austrian Economics, and they are like Dixie Scientology. Like they will have like things on the campus where it's like the world's shortest political test, and it's like, and then they basically get white college students who want pot to be legalized to come to Ron Paul speeches and shit. And it's just by the end of college, like, yeah, it was like the pod people. Like all of a sudden I just had a bunch of friends who were libertarians. I'm like, this is just annoying, And now
they
of course
they all think they're being smart. That's the worst thing about libertarians is they're like, dude, I'm a free thinker.
Yeah. Well, it's the last stop on the way to being a Republican. So it's just
usually,
it's just college kids who don't want,
they're conservative leaning, but they don't want to be like, I'm not like my dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. I like to smoke weed.
Yeah. Some laws should be different, but we're mostly good.
The ones that benefit me in a very direct yet still unimportant way.
100%. Yeah.
But if those guys come out of it and get liberal, they're pretty cool.
Well, that's
guys.
the thing. A lot of them, like almost every one of them I know is either like a hardcore socialist at this point, or they are straight up like, I go to church and I'm a Republican. That's where we're at. At your age, at 21, might have some radical people. By the time you get to 34, every one of those people went one of two ways: a road diverged in a yellow wood. That's where they went.
You can only go more right or left when you're a centrist type of person.
I'm just a backseat radical leftist.
That's fine.
This is from the Daily Beast. Jorgensen, a psychology professor, has received approximately 1% of the national vote. That's incredible.
That's
actually,
pretty solid, yeah.
That's the biggest since Ross Perot, I think. She held her greatest vote share in Alaska and the Dakotas, just over 2.5%, but Trump won those states handily. Even if libertarian votes might have made the difference in swing states, Jorgensen's vote total was far larger than Biden's lead in Pennsylvania on Friday afternoon, and there's no evidence that libertarian votes would have preferred Trump over Biden, as I said. But, as Libertarian magazine Reason notes, among some /POL stalwarts, so for those that don't know, the /POL on 4chan is the politically incorrect forum, and that's kind of, at least if you ask them, they'll say that they are the ones who did Trump. Like, they memed Trump into existence. Like, a lot of that, if anybody's seen Feels Good Man, which we talked about on my other podcast, What Did You Learn? These are the people who did the Pepe the Frog shit. Like, that's where all that came from. Okay. So now they are... Now they're mad. So, but among some POL stalwarts, Trump cannot fail, only be failed. The camp set about blaming libertarian voters, who are highly visible on the forum, for their impending woes. Quote, "If you voted for libertarian, I actually fucking hate you more than anything right now." One politically incorrect board thread began, "You fucking ruined everything." Biden has fucking won, and it's all your fucking fault. Third party has never, ever fucking won. So they're handling it in a way that's fun to laugh at, but also literally exactly the way the Democrats yelled at Jill Stein people in 2016. So let us not cast stones, but boy, it's pretty fun.
And now those people have learned.
They won't do it again.
Yeah.
This is another person from there. "I fucking hate you, all of you. And I think this is supposed to be hate, but it says, you, motherfucker." One user's attempt to consolidate the various anti-libertarian threads, creating a libertarian hate thread where they could all rage together. Others tried belatedly to argue electoral politics. Quote, "Voting libertarian is the stupidest thing you can do. There is never any reason to vote libertarian. You accomplish nothing except for your own vanity and selfishness."
Nice.
As is the typical of the politically incorrect board threads, the various rants melted down into threats of physical harm. Libertarians, alongside various other political, religious, and racial minorities. One particularly sore point between the two factions was guns. Republicans and libertarians frequently opposed gun laws in contrast to Biden. Pro-Trump, politically incorrect board users accused libertarian voters of being turncoats and supporting a president who would seize all guns. That was beside the point. I like this, so shout out to whoever this is. That was beside the point. One Jorgensen supporter told a Trump supporter, quote, "I don't need guns to kill you, you dumb fuck." So
nice.
No, it's good times. It's good times, you know?
I don't know. It's interesting to be so mad about Trump losing if you're a Trump supporter because, I mean, obviously I don't get it, but it's like if you're like a liberal, you're like, oh man, if Trump's in office, like, you know, he'll ramp up ICE and like more people will die. And Democrats do a lot of the same shit.
I was going to say, yeah.
But it's like
if ICE is your concern, Biden's not your man.
But also the Trump supporters don't even care about that. So it's just so funny to be like, fuck, where it's like all you're mad about is that it's not like
it's
awesome
a football team losing.
Yeah, it's like they just wanted to be hyped so bad.
Losing in a way too like a dramatic football game where it's like fourth quarter just butterfingers and they fumbled the fucking ball.
Fumbled on the goal line.
Yeah,
and they're more mad because like people that actually suffer through the consequences, like, well, I just have to continue going, you know, regardless of who loses. But then with them, it's like they don't have any struggle at all, so they're just like, I just have to be pissed now.
Yeah. That's sort of a weird, bizarro mirror image of 2016, right?
I wonder if they're keeping the Trump flags up. I guess the Trump flags will kind of be like Confederate flags, where like even though it's like a loss, it's still like.
Well, dude,
this is
vibe.
This will keep like old political stickers on the back of their cars.
Back of their car.
So sad.
This is what I was saying is like the interesting thing is going to be as his rallies get smaller, because it seems like what he's going to do is just keep doing rallies and shit, mainly because he has a tremendous amount of debt from the 2016 race and the 2020 race that he's going to have to make up somehow. So either he gets hired back at The Apprentice, which not out of the realm of possibility, considering how fucking, you know, whatever you want to think about
huge.
MSNBC.
It would instantly be huge.
NBC is a bunch of evil fucks, and they would do it in a second.
You're meaning to tell me Comcast would do something like that?
The good people at Comcast Universal. But the thing is, like, I think he's going to keep doing rallies, and they'll be big for the first year, and then the next year they'll get a little smaller, and then they'll get a little smaller, then they'll get a little smaller, and in like 4 or 5 years, people will still have the Trump flags, but I think it'll be lame, you know, to some extent, especially if they get like some person that's even worse, like if Tucker Carlson runs next time.
They'll get some new memorabilia to be racist with.
It sounds like a simple example, but it's also like the Confederate flag has been there for like 100 years, so it's like it hasn't gone out of style.
No,
but they tricked people more at that one. They tricked people into being like it's a symbol of this part of the country.
Yeah, Trump is new. It's like the Mormonism of like far right racist bullshit.
Because
he's gonna be like the people we were talking about yesterday, where they're like still posting about Hanson on Reddit,
right?
in 2020.
Why are you still? Because I mean, well, you know, he's effectively the new kind of Barry Goldwater. Because for years it was like, what would have happened if Johnson had beaten Goldwater? We could have had this conservative paradise, and now it's going to be like, what could have happened with a second Trump term? It's like this unanswered question for right wing shitheads,
right?
And so he's the new Goldwater, and it's like, okay, I'm fine with that because he is comedically terrible. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, I think
comedically terrible. He's a great performer.
That's true. He is funny. He is the funniest president we'll ever have. I'll say that.
He's the funniest man.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably more fun to make fun of Joe Biden.
He should get the Mark Twain Award.
Yeah. He's so funny. They give him the Mark Twain Award.
He should. They should give Trump the Mark Twain Award.
Best comedy actor.
And he would still crush because he would just talk about how he has better awards, you know.
But this is a very good one. I was the president once, but this is a very respected award.
I don't know why I showed up. I got the Secret Service waiting outside. I don't even care. I told Melania to stay in the car.
Mark Twain has always thought of him as kind of a loser. Always been a Nathaniel Hawthorne guy myself.
Mark Twain, his real name's Samuel Clinton. He won't even go by his real name. My name's Trump. You see it on the building. I'm not a liar.
Got a story this is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A lot of Pennsylvania going on. Porta potties in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania are under threat as a baffling series of bombings has caused toilet-based destruction across the city.
Steve-O's doing it.
He's back
for the infamous jackass
rule.
stunt.
Oh my god, that would be badass. I would love it.
Ice bombs.
There is currently no
He just pisses on it.
Yeah.
Blows his dick off.
There is currently no suspect, and police have nothing to go on. Funny writing there. It's about place to piss, nothing to go on.
Right.
This is from I think this is from like the Daily Sun. So these are British people. In the most recent incident, a construction crew arriving for work at 7 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday, November 10th, found that their toilet had been blown up. The city's crack bomb squad and crime unit said that they had determined that, quote, an explosive device had been used. And house-to-house investigations revealed that the latest incident occurred at around 3:30 a.m. A homeowner living opposite to the scene told police that she heard a loud boom that broke a window in her home.
Oh, so is that
Damn.
person like not even trying to hurt people? They just like blowing up.
Well, that's
bodies?
the thing.
It's
We
a
remember
string,
we watched the FBI files about that sniper.
The DC sniper.
Wait, the DC
No,
sniper?
there's another one.
Oh.
Were you not there for that? There was a guy who was just going around the rural Ohio and sniping random people on the street.
No, Jesus.
And apparently a lot of these bomber types just start doing this type of stuff.
Is it because like the DC
Wait,
sniper?
bombers start sniping or
No,
snipers?
like people who end up being serial killers will start doing this type
by
of
like
stuff
arson.
if
Yeah,
they start
yeah.
ramping it up.
Yeah. Quote, we got pretty blessed and pretty lucky that no one was injured, Matthews said at the scene. Police had brought in dogs to sniff through the toilet wreckage. There have been at least 3 portable toilet explosions in the city over the past couple of weeks. Police are as yet unsure whether the explosions are connected.
At this point, they have nothing to go on.
It's like, dude,
so
It's funny though that they have to say we're not sure if they're connected just because like
they
they're
have
not
no
sure.
evidence.
But it's also funny because
Yeah.
there's no one out there that's going to be like, "How are you sure? How are you so sure, policeman?"
It's crazy they're making the window explosion bombs.
Yeah, that's big.
That is a big.
That's a big fucking bomb
that's a-
across the street.
That's
yeah.
a sonic blast big enough to break a window.
Yeah. Quote, that's part of the investigation to piece it all together and try to see if everything matches up. It's still early to tell, Matthew said. And then this is the best. Exactly a year ago this week, a Pittsburgh man was arrested on 2 charges of felony criminal mischief, as well as 1 count of arson and defiant trespass after several porta potties were set ablaze in Pittsburgh. Asked about the fire, which caused $6,400 worth of damage, 31-year-old Kevin Bankhead told police, quote, I didn't start it on purpose. So this is the second time there's been a series of porta potty destructions happening in Pittsburgh. But apparently this guy, I don't know, set one on fire and I guess caught the row on fire maybe. But
People are
he's
mad.
saying it wasn't on purpose.
People in Pittsburgh are pissed off right now. Their football team just caught COVID.
Is that true?
Yeah.
The Steelers got COVID.
Ben Roethlisberger has COVID.
Oh, well, that's good. Fuck him.
Yeah. But yeah, they got issues.
Yeah.
And I get it. Maybe it's just some teens having fun. It seems fun to blow up a
With
porta
some
potty.
high-level explosives,
Of all
man.
the things to blow up.
Right now, everybody's, antsy, quarantine. We've been in our house for 9 months.
So the
you want to
teenagers
go
are teaching
plant some
themselves how to
bombs,
plant
I
bombs,
get
yeah.
it.
Witness Mike Davis, who worked near the row of porta potties, told reporters, quote, that's a shame. I see the ones down there getting used quite frequently.
Aw.
So I love that, they interviewed the original porta potty arsonist, and he was like, I didn't do that shit. It was an accident.
Yeah.
And then also the guy was just like, really the part that's the worst is that people like to shit in this porta potty, and now they can't.
The guy that blew him up said that, or another guy?
No, that's the witness, Mike Davis, who worked near the row of porta potties. So they found the dullest man in Pittsburgh, who's just like,
They used that one. I wasn't just there for show.
it's a shame.
I used to go in there and jack off sometimes.
It doesn't smell as bad as you would think.
Used to go in there and just smell the walls. Just to feel free, Now they're gone, and that's loss. That's life. Things come and go.
They have the rows of porta potties at Bonnaroo, if you ever go to a music festival. And I remember going in there because people would write their names on the walls and shit like that.
Tagging.
They tag up the porta potties, even at a music festival. And I would always think, like, who's bringing a Sharpie to a music festival? Like, who, when they're packing up their shit, is like, bringing a
Let
fucking
me tell
Sharpie.
you, as a ex-professional tagger, a true tagger always has a Sharpie on him. It's not like I'm gonna bring this to my. It's like I got my keys, my cell phone, my wallet, my Sharpie type deal.
I was thinking about this and I was like, well, who brings a fucking Sharpie to a music festival? And then I went into one of the porta potties to take a piss and then turned around to walk out and my friend's name was just written on the wall. It's like, oh, some idiot that I went to this festival with did it. So that's who.
Shout out to Stan.
It's Kevin. It's Kevin.
Did
Shout
you
out
go
to
back
Kevin.
to Kevin and ask?
Yeah, I was like, why did you bring a Sharpie to a music festival? He's like, oh, he's got one.
It's like,
Yeah,
girls
because he's a
like it.
true tagger.
But he just wrote his name in block letters. It wasn't like a tag. It was just he just wrote his first and last name in the porta potty.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
not
that is
a
a
tag.
that is a tag. That's called hand style.
Did you just make that up?
No,
That's a thing.
I think
People just write their shit like they're writing in crayon on the wall.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's
rules.
called, and it's not like block letters.
Okay, God, that's hilarious. I didn't know that could be considered a tag.
It doesn't have to look good to be a tag.
Yeah.
Nobody. It's like comedy. If you decide you're a comedian, you're doing comedy. If you
Okay.
decide you're a tagger,
I can't tell you the definition of a tag, but I know it when I see it.
The most dangerous tags are the ones that are just to let you know a gang is there.
Yeah,
Those aren't
that's
done
the
well.
thing.
Those are simple.
Yeah, those,
Yeah, well, those are simple, but it is just funny to be like, if you just were a guy and you just wrote your first and last name in very readable English on the wall.
you're
like
not going to have a long tagging career. They're going to find
what
you
I
pretty
mean.
quick.
Yeah.
What's your tag name? Sam Harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your tag name is just your address.
Well, are you guys ready for our jam of the day?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So I want to say this is actually, it's a good song. It's a good band, but it does have some funny ass comments. Our jam of the day, of course, motherfucking Beastie Boys with their song. And rare in a song title, 2 sets of parentheses. Parentheses, you gotta, main title, fight for your right. Another parentheses, to party.
You got to fight for your right to let people know that you got to fight for your right.
To use multiple parentheses in a song title. That rules.
I
Nobody's
didn't
doing that.
Nobody told me before that this song is satire.
Yeah. A lot of people pointed that out.
I learned that in the YouTube comments. Also, the Slayer guitarist did this guitar work. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
So this is just a joke.
Yeah, they're making fun of like hair metal party music.
Oh, that's really funny. Because that makes sense because they were like a punk band. They seem like pretty somewhat aware guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is a cheese dick song if you just take it at its face value, which I always did. And I
Yeah.
liked it because I'm a cheese
First time I heard
dick.
it, I was like, I like this, but this is dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's intentionally so.
Sabotage is serious, though.
Yeah.
Intergalactic.
Oh man, Intergalactic fucking rules. My God. Well,
They play that one at church. It's real.
Oh man, yeah. So what is that other Super Disco Break-In? That record fucking rules. Hello Nasty's good.
It is.
So let's get down into these comments here with some people who definitely probably don't know that this song is satire. Let's start off here. This is Mark Stahl from 6 months ago. I have been at parties like this. ... People come from miles to party.
It's
All right,
true.
Mark, you weirdo.
That's the true I live out in the sticks kind
got
of
good
thing.
parties, people come
will
from
drive
miles.
for hours. Dude, people drove for 4 hours once to come to a shitty comedy show I did in fucking Mississippi somewhere.
Whoa.
Because there's so little to do out in places like that.
Wait, where in Mississippi?
God, what is that town? Is fucking
Hattiesburg?
No, it was like more north.
Oxford?
East. Maybe. It was like a really shitty town.
Tupelo?
Maybe. They're like, this is one of the most dangerous areas in Mississippi. There's like a lot of crime here. So
Might be talking Tupelo there.
Yeah.
Near Memphis.
yeah, I think so.
That's probably Tupelo. Birthplace of Elvis Presley.
Apparently, people will come see you do comedy there.
Yeah.
If they just hear you're from out of town.
Dude.
That's literally, they're like, oh yeah, we came tonight just because we heard out of town comics would be here. We drove for
Man.
4 hours.
They probably won't rob us.
I'm gonna say, shout out to Rob Cornelius and Bruce Butler. They ran a show in Oxford, Mississippi at a bar called The Blind Pig.
Oh, I've done that.
Have you done that one?
Yeah.
It's like downstairs. It fucking rules. And if you put an LA person in this like room and we're like, this is a show,
Yeah.
they would believe you and not just a random open mic because it was like that hot of a fucking room. Like it was crazy. Like every time I'd done that room twice, and both times it's just fucking awesome. Like one of the best shows ever, and it is technically an open mic, but because it's an open mic in Oxford, Mississippi, they just kind of let you do however much time you got. You know, so you can go for 10, 20 minutes if you want down there. So I want to know that show's still going. Morgan Freeman drinks at that bar occasionally. He lives down there.
Damn.
Stay away.
Got to get fucked up with that guy.
Stay away.
Morgan, I'll relapse to drink with you.
Bray Awesome from 2 months ago. This reminds me of me and my two best friends at a party.
Yeah, because there's three of them, and they're all just commenting on the video.
Yeah, I reckon, but it is just funny to be like, you know what this song about parties reminds me of?
Me and my friends
being at a party.
Sitting lazy boys with their legs over the armchairs.
They are talking. Give these guys some credit. They're talking about the visuals. That's why you can't go to these for the comments.
That's probably
people are always talking about shit, and you can't tell what they're talking about, and it's not what you think.
It's probably just him making a funny joke.
Sometimes, yeah,
this
people
reminds
are doing
me
that.
of me and my three friends at a party.
I've been tricked.
I would think that was funny if I made that joke.
Mahadia Ansari from 2 months ago. Wow, 11 years. How the world has changed.
Yeah, you can't.
This song came out 34 years ago.
Maybe since the first time they heard it. I always do think it's funny when there's comments like that where they're just like, you know what? Time has passed. Between then and now, time has passed. Sure hasn't it?
And this is the only thing that's reminded me. My mom died yesterday. I knew what song I had to listen to.
Any like sort of oldish song is like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Also, this one was full. I was texted Rivers this one's full of like the jailbait traps to catch a predator.
Yeah.
Like so many comments of just like, I'm 9 years old and love this song and I listen to it loud because my parents are never around. If anybody wants to chat, hit me up.
Why don't you take a seat there, please?
You like the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Alberto Chavez Jr. from 3 weeks ago. Girl, you remember me?
She members.
That's to no one.
I doubt it. I really, if there even is a girl, she doesn't.
Somebody just comments, they're like, please. Javier, please.
JB from 6 days ago. Someone lost an ear at one of my parties. True story.
Damn.
That's a party.
That's what the veterans fought for.
For two people to get in a crazy fight at a party and to have one of their ears come off.
The party, it was a party with my friends Vader and Mick Foley.
Oh, dude. There's a UFC fight last week where a guy got punched in the ear and his ear came off. Like it was hanging on, but came off from the top, you know, and it was like hanging.
Oh, Christ.
Feel free to edit that out.
No, Jesus.
That's what people come to this podcast for gruesome details of stuff that'll turn your stomach.
Oh, yeah. You've seen the Mick Foley one, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets trapped in between the two ring ropes and it fucking just cuts his ear off. Fuck.
Great.
Some of the greatest ear removals of all time. We got to do a podcast specifically about that.
Yeah, I wish I could get my ears removed so I don't have to listen to my mother-in-law. You know what I mean, boys?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Wouldn't that be heaven?
Alejandro Medina from 5 years ago. I miss the old times when people were bullied and didn't shoot an entire school.
Me too. We actually.
Yeah.
Who can deny that statement?
Yeah, but who is Alejandro in this? Is he a guy? Because it sounds like he's a bully, and he's like, man, I miss the day when I used to be able to fuck with people and they wouldn't come back and kill me.
No. He got hurt a lot. He got hurt really bad. People who are bullies are successful and fuck a lot.
No, but
people who are nerds are on YouTube going, because he's pissed off because he's a coward that actually wishes he would have shot up the school.
Yeah.
So he's blaming the kids that actually had some fucking initiative more than him.
No, probably because they used to listen to this song while they punched him.
Yeah, he's working at fucking Geek Squad right now.
No, he says, I miss the old times when people were bullied and didn't shoot up an entire school. That is 100% he's the bully.
No, I think he was bullied.
Why would he miss those times though? If he's got a revenge fantasy.
He doesn't actually miss them, but he takes it as a point because he's done nothing in his life, so he takes it as a point of pride to have suffered so much because he's achieved nothing. So he's like, I have done the work, and the kids that were like, "Fuck this! I'm taking a gun to Brandon's head." He's jealous of because they had like oomph.
You're not allowed to drink before the podcast anymore.
Kawhi,
don't ask me about my theories, like I said on the last one.
Kawhi Panda from 11 months ago.
It's just Kawhi Leonard commenting on it.
My 15-year-old doesn't like this. She does not know what's cool.
My 15-year-old
it sucks.
I saw one.
You're a nerd. You cannot drink more than me. You're grounded.
I didn't screenshot it, but when I was looking, I saw one that was just like, I can't wait till I have kids so I can pull up at their school, drop them off, then roll down the windows and jam this.
I feel the same way, honestly, because what a better way to embarrass the shit out of your kids than just being like,
it's more embarrassing
cool
for
dad.
you.
Yeah, it is far more embarrassing.
All the
for
fucking teachers are looking at you like, what a fucking loser. It's 8 a.m.
You reach a certain age where you don't give a shit.
Well, the thing is, your kids will feel embarrassed and they'll just hate you for it, and you'll also look like a jack off.
And they won't grow up and be like, oh, I've learned so much from how open
that was
my
so
dad
funny
was.
how he just tortured me in front of my classmates.
Oh,
come on.
my dad taught me to be outgoing.
Look who misses the day when you could bully and kids didn't shoot up a school.
That's why you have a kid.
Look who we got, Javier here.
That's why you have a kid, is to fucking be weird. Make them.
All right, Rivers.
Telling you.
Don't let Rivers
Let's
around your
isolate
children.
that one, yeah. The only reason you got a kid is to kiss him. That's what I've always been saying. Now they want to lock me up?
Vondre from 3 months ago. LA mayor said yesterday he'll shut off power and water to any house throwing a party. We must fight now more than ever before.
That would never happen. The fucking...
No, they did it. They did do that.
How many people?
We covered it on this podcast. There was a giant party in the Hollywood Hills with like 200 people, and the police flew helicopters over it, and they cut the power.
Cut the lights,
I guess if it's that big.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of like if it's like a house party, to imagine the cops would actually even get there at all.
Right.
Yeah. I got one similar to that from Awkward Anonymous Music. Just a total jack off, as you're about to tell. This song has never been more relevant than it is now. From 6 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Boy, do you suck.
Oh,
That's what he's worried about most.
Yeah.
I got lots of those from like exactly 6-7 months ago. You got to fight for your right to liberty. And then another one. It's your owner from a month ago. This is the new anthem for COVID teens 2020.
I guess it is.
And this is similar. Louis Vico from 2 weeks ago. Today's youth live by this song's chorus instead of following government restrictions regarding Corona. LOL. A lot of that.
I got one more from the account says Mark Dupree.
Just as someone's dying of COVID, just like sabotage.
No, you as someone's dying from COVID. Kick it!
Oh! All right, what did Mark Dupree say?
Matt Dupree. But I think this could be a Cooper Lyden burner account from 8 years ago.
Nice.
This song is so true. I'm 13 and love to drink, but I can't. I have to fight for my right to party like all of us. Right until I'm an adult. Then I'll get shit-faced every night for a while.
I'm a widow girl. Please direct message me.
Why would that be me, Sam?
I don't know what's 8 years ago.
What does that have to do with me?
Because you were 13 and loved to drink.
What does that have to do with me? I don't love to drink, dude. I'm good at it.
This one was really sad. Joshua Brooks from 4 months ago. I'm going to start a lyric chain. Here we go. You wake up late for school, but you don't want to go. And then in parentheses, continue the lyrics in the comments. 0 replies.
Yeah.
We should just reply and just be like, fuck you.
That's funny because that video probably has like 11 million views. And that's 11 million people just being like, you're a fucking dumbass.
No.
Even if only half of them look at the comments, you still got like 5.5.
I got a couple more. This one's really confusing. Daniel Elliott from 4 months ago. Why don't you go down to the place where you change things when you write on a paper, and then you ask them what type of keyboards they like the best?
What type of keyboards do you like the most?
I love that. What is he? Because at first I was like, why don't you go down to the place where you change things and write on a paper? I was like, he's talking about voting, but then it's, you got to ask which type of keyboards is the best. I'm like, maybe he means Staples?
I think he means Guitar Center.
Those kinds of keyboards. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. But
I got a question for you, officer. What's your favorite kind of keyboard? What's the best to you, fucker? I'm free.
I like the Nord Electro.
I fucking voted for Joe Jorgensen. Not Biden. Yeah, I voted for Joe Jorgensen. Oh, I'm going to start saying that.
Oh, that's a good bit.
Mike Moore from 5 months ago. Party hard and rock on 420. Fuck yeah, Mike. Keep on rocking, baby. And then last two I got
This is
here.
the best line.
Oh. Threw away your best porno mag.
So a lot of people in the comments identifying with that lyric specifically.
Oh yeah. So this one's real crazy. This is from Dean Tucker 6 days ago. COVID-19 vaccinations, the first step towards the mark of the beast, is here soon. A great and formidable enemy seeks to enter the very blood of my children through the altering of DNA. A spiritual battle that is raging now ultimately will strip you of the divine image of myself that is placed in the DNA. My creation! This is your reality right now. You must know what you will choose to do. The technology for the mark of the beast is here. It is upon you. Come out of Babylon and make me king of your heart, the divine gatekeeper of your soul. The time is now.
Wonder if he listened to this song or not. Or if he's just copy and pasting out a bunch of videos.
Yeah, but I think he wrote it before or after listening. If he did. 'Cause maybe after he'd be more.
His mom just threw away his best porno mag.
Right.
He's pissed.
But he keeps calling himself God there. Like, he's talking in the first person. He's like, come through me. And I just love that for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Dean.
Yeah, I mean, God, if you think about it, God created this song.
Through Dean, all things are possible.
True. And in a lot of ways, Jesus fought for his right to party.
Yeah.
That's pretty undeniable.
WWDD. What would Dean do? Fully rely on Dean.
Dean would comment.
Dean would post.
If I was Dean, I'd be commenting on YouTube right about now.
Right about now.
oh yeah, we should do Rockefeller Skank.
Tell Rivers what you thought the lyrics to that song were.
I should have brought it up.
Tell Rivers.
We need to know now.
I thought he was saying right about now. The funk's so rubber. Because, it's like when the funk gets rubbery.
Oh, like a rubber band man? Like Bootsy Collins and the rubber band?
Not even related to that, you know what I mean? Just fucking...
he just really didn't hear the words correctly.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's Funk Soul Brother.
It is.
Allegedly.
He says it 500 times.
There's a lot...
the funk so rubber.
A lot of people said they heard the funk so rubber. And it's a good line, so why would we even want to change it? A lot of people said they heard the line. A lot of people said they loved the line. They said they wouldn't even want to listen to the song if it was Funk Soul Brothers. So I think as of now, we need to wait till things are in. I don't want to stop the counting.
He found this out 2 days ago.
And finally, Dr. Bino from 6 months ago. Being a smartass brought me here.
Well,
and that is our jam of the motherfucking day. The Beastie Boys from the record Licensed to Ill. That's You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. And that's our show. Cooper Lyden, where can people find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me at Cooper Lyden on Instagram and Lyden Cooper on Twitter. And the bios of both of those is a link to my podcast with Dylan Sullivan, Pork Butt. Dylan Sullivan, comedian, working at the Comedy Store. Cooper Lyden, open mic comedian in parks. Check it out.
And on podcasts.
This is true. Yeah, thanks again for sitting in with us, man. This was fun.
I'm just glad you invited me.
Sam, where can people find you online?
Hanging out with Cooper, lurking his accounts. You can follow my Twitter, The Goods Pod. I'm the one who posts on that.
Yeah, sure.
So follow me there. Follow me at Slam Harder. I'm off Twitter until they give me control of the Tig Notaro account. And that's that.
Hell yeah. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And of course, the best way to support the show, patreon.com/thegoodspod. Or second best way to support the show, head over to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude. And we will see you next time. And I've got a song. This is our friend Adam Cross, who's in a band called Dalux, Dalux. They have a new EP out, and this is the first track on that EP. Fucking rules. Adam's the best. Yeah, check it out. This is called Your Spell.
Hope's desperation, caught in the throes. Dreams last forever, but love comes and goes. In the existence of my world, but something's taking over me, and I don't know how. I know you will take every part of me, 'cause you're doing it now. Got control of me, it's taking over me, won't let go of me, yeah. Until the death of me, everything you do is a part of me, and I can't go one day without you. And what I gotta know is, baby, all I gotta know is how. Tell me how you cast your spell, 'cause everything you do it well, so well. Eyes closed, I'm falling, my head's in the clouds. I'm feeling stuck in the middle, baby, but you turned me around. And everything you do, you got me going, baby, so go, baby. Into the death of me, everything you do is a part of me, and I can't go one day without you. And what I gotta know is, baby, all I gotta know is how. Tell me how you cast your spell, 'cause everything you do it well, yeah, yeah. In the past I've come to know, it only hurts when they get too close. So I never keep them close, and my karma was I never got what I was missing most. I took my pride and pushed it to the side. I'm on the edge of the cliff, and now it's live or die. When it's me against the world, it could be you and I, you and I, you and I, you and I. Until the death of me, everything you do is a part of me, and I can't go too long without you. And what I gotta know is, baby, all I gotta know is how. Tell me how you cast your spell, 'cause everything you do it so